Mr. Beebe is a health teacher here at Grasso, and when he isn't hiking between classes, he's hiking in the mountains. This summer, he decided to travel west.
I went to Colorado this past summer. I started on June 22nd. I started on the trail, and I finished on July 27th. So I actually spent 35 days hiking the Colorado Trail. The Colorado Trail is actually part of the mini Triple Crown, which consists of the Long Trail in Vermont, the John Muir Trail out in California, and the Colorado Trail, obviously. And each one of those is actually part of a larger trail system, the Appalachian Trail, the Continental Divide Trail, and the Pacific Crest Trail.
Before Mr. Beebe took on the Colorado Trail, he had to prepare himself for the challenges he would face on this 600-mile venture.
The longest individual trip that I took in there was 84 miles, including one of those days in the mud, in the snow, and freezing temperatures. I hiked 28.5 miles.
Even with the training, nothing could prepare Mr. Beebe for the biggest challenge of all.
Missing my family and friends was hands down the most difficult thing. Not having that support system there and having to be completely on my own for 35 days. I did meet some really wonderful people on trail. It's just not the same as having those support systems present in your life.
Even though the Colorado Trail seems lonely, Mr. Beebe wasn't the only one taking on the trail this summer.
The people that I met on the trail varied from people who were literal doctors to people who were homeless. And to actually see that difference was incredible. I had people drive me down a steep mountain road to go get a resupply, all the way into town, all the way back for absolutely nothing, expecting nothing from me. I had people who barely even said 2 words to me, but every single person on that trail that I met was more than willing to help if needed.
With all the time Mr. Beebe spent on the trail, he had interesting experiences.
I came upon this place called Mineral Creek, and I got there and I heard the rumbling off in the distance, so I went to drop my pack and get my tent out to set up, and it was like somebody dumped a bucket of water over my head. The rain was so intense, and then the hail started. The hail was so brutal that it felt like somebody was shooting me with a BB gun, and I was underneath a tree. Then lightning strikes started, and there were literally hundreds of lightning strikes in the matter of just maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I threw my tent down, set it up as fast as I could, dove inside my tent, and the rain started up again, almost immediately.
The extreme weather Mr. Beebe faced doesn't compare to another one of the stories.
The worst experience that I had on the Colorado Trail was coming up to a water source and realizing that it was a stream, and in the stream, cows had pooped in the stream. And I had to filter water from the cow poop water. It was probably the most disturbing experience of my entire life. I still think about it and I want to throw up. But I had to filter it, and then I immediately treated it with iodine tablets as well. So I didn't just filter, I didn't just treat, I did both. It's supposed to kill off, like what I did kills off almost every there might be 0.001% of bacteria left over in it, but it was still the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life, is to have to filter that water and then drink that water.
Even with the challenges the Colorado Trail presented Mr. Beebe, he would still consider going back again.
The Colorado Trail was the most physically demanding day in and day out for the longest period of time that I've ever done, even though the long trail was more challenging. But it was so much fun, and it felt like it completed a part of myself that I knew existed and I knew I was capable of creating, but I really wasn't 100% sure was there, just because of its length and the amount of time that I spent on trail. I would go back and do it in a heartbeat.